Hi guys, hopefully everyone's doing all right. We got another video here for Alchemy Trades. We're going to go through a couple of different pain points that we're seeing inside the Discord of people maybe not having a full understanding of some of the ins and outs of how you want to set up your bot, and then some of the ins and outs of how the actual chart looks and some of the numbers on the chart. And so we're going to go through a pretty good deep dive, hopefully here, of some of these things, help come to a better understanding. We'll put chapters in here as well. That way the mods can refer you to chapters if there's a certain issue that you're having, just because we're taking up a lot of the time for the devs. They want to implement more features for us and all that kind of stuff. So anything we can do to make their job easier and let them focus on coding, we want to take advantage of that. And that's part of why I'm here, to try and help with that. So hopefully this adds some value. Hopefully this brings some clarity to a few things you guys are dealing with. And please don't hesitate to comment, like, and subscribe. But commenting, especially if you're having any issues or things you need explained a little bit more, I'm happy to create more of these to help the community out as best as I can. So thank you so much for that, and let's get on with it. So we're going to go into grid trading. Oh, sorry. First thing, number one, always pick your decks. So we're going to play with OPT just because I have some fun sitting there and it's kind of a popular one. So pick your OPT as your first one. As always, you want to make sure you're clicking that as your pair that you're trading, and then your pair that you're taking profits in or starting with. And right now I'm just going to put in $100 here because I can only use what I have there to create the pair. We're going to take a grid of 1.52 and 1.42. Picking your grid, just a quick little thing here. You basically want to be in between these things. You want to make sure you're taking advantage of some of these little wicks here, like this blue one here might be easier to see on the screen. When they hit these lows, you're going to make purchases. When they hit these highs, you're gonna sell. And so you want to make sure you're in between there. You do want to give yourself a little wiggle room if the chart decides to kind of sway a bit. This one doesn't really too much, but which is kind of neat. But if it was to sway a little bit, you want to take advantage of still being able to get in there. So so back to our grid. And once you've done that, you're going to hit find grids. The next decision you have to make is how many grids you want to do. I'm going to show you the max that we have in this particular instance, which it's given us a max of 7. The one thing I think we've kind of avoided putting some attention to is these guys down here. So this is pretty important information, especially on somewhere like Matic. Matic's probably our biggest pain point right now, but unfortunately our most popular one. You may have noticed when you've done trades on Matic or in the past when we were in the bull market and stuff, taking time, having to up your gas like crazy to try and get transactions through. It's a little bit of a clumsy chain, and for that reason, there's some things you want to pay attention to when it comes to creating your grid to make sure that you're profitable. So you might have noticed a bunch of people having issues where they're trading and they're seeing things go through, they're seeing realized dollars, but they're seeing a negative here even though the price is higher than what they bought in at. So if that's a common problem for you, the reason for that is the way you're setting up the grid. So your profits, and for instance in this one here, are 4 cents per grid or 5 cents per grid. And so if it's just hovering up and down and doing small buys and sells as it's moving up and down the grid, you're wasting a lot of money on gas. You're not realizing really any profits. So over time, you're actually degrading your margin or your margin on your trades. So in order to fix that problem, you want to go with less grids. So let's put in 5. Now we're sitting at more of a 14-cent price thing. So we've around tripled our profits. And yes, we're trading in less grids, but with a token like this one, for instance, because of these guys, you're going to buy in here, you're going to sell, you're going to buy in here. You want to create profitable trades back and forth instead of all these mini ones in order to make sure that you're benefiting from that. So profit per grid is very important. Movement per grid, you want to keep that somewhat low so that you're getting some trades, but you also don't want to make it too low that, again, these are not profitable. So in this case, every 2 cents up or down is going to create a new trade, either buying or selling, based on whether that grid has money sitting in it or not. Whether it's made a purchase, if it has, it'll sell if it's on its way up. If it doesn't have money in it, it potentially might buy to sell later on when it goes higher. And then rate per grid. So in this case, it's pretty simple. We're doing 5 grids. We've got $100, so it's $20 per grid. So you'll if you're at the lower end, so if you're starting kind of price right now is around here, you're going to buy all your grids. You'll spend your full $100 pretty much, and then sell on the way up. And if you're starting more at the top, you're going to buy very little grids or zero, and you'll start buying as the price goes down. So the ranges are very important, but they're more to get your placement on here. And then this guy's here are what's going to tell you whether you're going to make money or not. So very, very much needed to focus on there. All right, so now let's go to the dashboard when a trade is actually active and go through a couple of things here. Time is here, so this is how long I've been in this trade, so 14 hours and 20 minutes. If I leave this screen, so if I go to Excalibur simulation or I click on settings and come back to here, that time will disappear. So it's a known issue, so just you'll have to deal with it. If the time disappears, so you'll have to remember when you got in. Grid down is what the price has to go to in order for you to go down one grid from where you are right now. This is the current grid, and grid up is the price that it has to go to for you to go up a grid. Important thing here, I mean, it's just to know kind of where you're going. Keep in mind these grids are not actually placed in here. They're not part of these lines, as you can see. So for instance, here it's 1.46. It's not like 1.466 for the upper, and actually it's technically the lower. So these are just automatically here to give you guides when you're looking at the chart and seeing where it's going up and down and stuff, and to help create your uppers and lowers kind of thing. So yeah, so you've gone through here, and that's basically that. When you click update, it just goes through. This is handy to know where you're starting at, and that'll relate to some of the stuff down here. So here's your starting price, here's your starting total, and there is your price now in your wallet based on both the tokens you're holding and the number of grids. So I have 11 in this one because I opened it up to a larger thing. And I probably need to have a little look at this because I don't know if I'm as profitable as I need to be between grids, but luckily I'm still creating profit, which is good. And then once we go down to the bottom, so here's the price it is now. As I said on here was your price that you bought it at. This guy's going, we're in green right now. I was over 2% when I'm sitting over at these prices, and again, if this is showing red and the price is up, then you might need to take a look and start adjusting your grid a little bit more and change, either lower how many grids you have or create a larger range, something along those lines to help make your individual trades up and down more profitable. This again, like I said, is the total in your wallet. It's adding in both in this case, your USDT and your OPT2, and it's showing you a now. So if you really want to know how much money you're making over the time, you compare this number here to this number here. Realized. So this one here has been a little bit of a pain point for everybody. This is funds that have been kind of removed from your trading because it's profit that you've taken, but it has no relation to this amount here. It's not this plus this. This is its own number just telling you how much funds has been taken out and how much funds you maybe would use if you were to recompound and restart your bot. So it kind of gives you an idea of if you've accumulated a lot there, maybe it's time to kind of stop everything, recompound it in, and start the bot working with a larger amount. So this is actually being taken off right now. It's going to be not part of the next version, just to take away a lot of the confusion and stuff that's happening, but it will be put back in later as an option to add in. So I wanted to let you know exactly how this works, just so you're not confusing it with the funds that are happening here. This is how you want to calculate or visualize how you're doing. This is just here to know how much funds have been taken out of the circulation right now and give you a little point of when maybe you want to compound and put things back in. Just so you know, when you click on here, this will give you your trades. So you want to have a look in here from time to time. Obviously, you're going to see trades that haven't closed yet because maybe I didn't hit those high highs. You can imagine this one here. This is kind of your first one or your lowest low kind of thing that you bought in on. So until you kind of hit your highs, it's not going to sell. So oftentimes your lower one will show as still pending sale unless you break your high point kind of thing. And so the rest of them are all here ready to go. Gas is up here, so this is just showing you how high the gas prices are or whatever for that DEX. And again, that's about it. So any questions, comments, concerns, please don't hesitate to leave some comments in the YouTube. Obviously, please help the YouTube algorithm to help more people see what Alchemy Trades is all about by liking this video. And then don't hesitate to help me out by subscribing and also maybe hitting the bell notification so you get word of videos that come out as I release them. Thank you so much for coming by. Hopefully this helped clear up some things for you and helped get some more understanding of how the system works and to help you maybe create a better bot for yourself or a better setup for yourself. Thanks so much. Have yourselves a wonderful day.